Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and in this vid, due to public demand, I am bringing you my tips for Nightmare. Now if you've been following the streams, you know we've been playing Nightmare, so I'm gonna lay down the first means of surviving this situation with an intact psyche, because at the state that the game is in right now, it might drive you insane. First order of business. Do not mix your nightmare run with a no one can hear you scream run. Why? Well, the game is overly dependent on RNG that comes for the upgrades on your marines and the way you might get spotted, and because right now the spawns of specific drones in specific areas are very obnoxious, meaning they might spawn out of a vent at the exact spot where you happen to pass through, having only one save will be a huge detriment to your overall enjoyment of the situation. It is really not a good idea. Second, if you have something else to play, I would suggest giving the game some space for the time being, because although Tindalos has been patching, it is still in a very rough state when it comes to specific situations. I've had recons have clear lines of sight and no shooting, enemies spawning out of thin air. At some points, runners would beeline it to my position without any chance of me avoiding them, starting hunts and causing serious trouble. That is, as far as I know, the most solid info I can give you when it comes to how you should manage your save. Now, what do we do once we're in the game proper? First and foremost, the team composition. Skip the medics completely. I've done it and it works just fine. The medic is severely underpowered at the moment. It's a wasted spot on your squad. My suggestion, go double gunner, sergeant, recon and tecker. Okay, very important to make sure that you have a squad that will be available and strong enough to take on the opposition. Unbreakable wheel. This is probably the most important common in order to be able to create a powerful squad. Why? Because you can keep redeploying the same marines again and again and feeding them XP. By the midpoint in the game, if you do not sustain severe damage, this perk will allow your marines to cap their level. They will be level 10. By that point, the wise thing to do is take 2 out of the 5 marines you will be controlling out of the squad at any given mission, replacing them with fresh ones that you will also get to level 10. So you have a 5-person squad. When you reach the APC, you take out 2 of your maxed characters and put into fresh ones that you should previously have in intensive training. Don't take them with you at level 1. This is pretty basic stuff. Then you keep upgrading them, having them supported by the maxed out characters. That will make your life that much easier. Second, redemption. Hit it as soon as you can find it. It will take off all the negative base traits that the marines come with. Very important, people, because some of these traits are huge detriments. Kleptomania comes to mind. If you have a kleptomania, you're constantly losing supplies. We cannot have that. Mind of Steel. Marine automatically heals 1 trauma point per campaign turn. That was different. It used to heal totally after 3 days. Now it detracts 1 point every day pretty much. But guys, I cannot stretch enough how important this is. Just like Unbreakable Will, this will deduce trauma points, not allowing your marines to go into trauma state unless you're screwing it royally. So with this, you will be able to keep them in the squad even if their trauma is high and they are suffering from some debuffs. They might stick to a debuff for a day, but a day later they will deduce a point and probably come back to a healthy state. Start by having a looter point on all your squad mates if possible. This will help your overall economy develop faster and you will be able to unlock weapons faster. Not to mention, you will need to train approximately 7 marines in total to have a couple of spares that will also cost you 30 resources per upgrade. So every single one of these will cost you 30 They can take up to 5 per marine, that's 150, so you know to have some resources. Deadeye is excellent for every single marine, and you should get it if possible, especially if your try roll after a level up is not ideal. Deadeye will make them that much more efficient on killing the enemy. If you have Deadeye on every single one of your marines, at least at level 1, your chances of critical hitting and dismembering will increase substantially. If you can upgrade this, especially on characters with fast firing weapons, like of course your gunners, they will shred the Xenos with the Smarties. So don't pass this up because it's not a game-breaking effect. It will actually make your fights that much better. 2 of your squaddies at least should have team spirit. If you can have 4 of your squads have team spirit, that will be great because you get an additional command point for every 2 marines that sport this common. Okay, so the more you have, the better your life will be. You'll be able to use more command points and more abilities under extension. Always remember that this whole process becomes easier by having a sergeant. Never pass the sergeant up. It is a great utility class. Now, something that most people don't understand is that whilst having more health seems like a good idea, having more armor is actually what's gonna help you from getting hurt, because armor doesn't allow the marine to actually get injured, and if you pair it with anti-acid gel, you will be immune to acid as long as you retain at least 1 point of armor. This is huge. Having more health means that yes, if you are in the phase of getting slaughtered, you will be able to tank a couple more hits, but if you have more armor, that health will not be diminished, at least not as quickly, and you will have to deal with less injury, meaning you will have more leeway when it comes to how you will treat people in the medical quarters. Very important is to also prioritize your weapons development. If you are not going to use something, don't be an OCD-ridden nerd and research stuff just because it's there. You start with a pulse, service pistol, shotgun. Prioritize what you will need. If you ask me, first order of business, get a recon, research sniper rifle, go into their tab and get the silencer. Second order of business, get the smart gun for your gunners. Extremely important. Ignore the revolver. Secondary weapons are not that important anyway, okay? We have more pricing methods. Mines, as soon as you can use them, they're gonna save your life, and coupled with sensors, they can lure the Xenos into death traps. As soon as you're level 6, get an RPG. RPGs will decimate mini-bosses, Crushers, Praetorians, the Queens. The heavy pulse is good, not the highest priority, but it is very good. The plasma, self-explanatory, but you have to be level 10. Incinerator units will save your life in rooms with multiple clusters of eggs. They will kill the eggs faster than you will be detected, so don't pass them up. Laboratory prioritization, very important. Pheromones, they will slow down the detection time of your squad by the Xenos, and on Nightmare you will get detected really quick. This will save your life on multiple occasions, so do not pass it up. Hive Tranquilizer increases the time to reach the NS aggressiveness level by 15%. I don't need to explain this, this is a must. Your biggest issue with Nightmare is that if you get too far in engagement difficulty in any deployment, you'll have to extract because it becomes unbearable. The Xenos have a lot of health and there's a lot of them. So you want to deploy as few times as possible for the longest possible period to get as much out of its deployment as possible, and by staying on easy or at least medium, you will be able to get more stuff done. You want to keep your infestation level below 3 until you can get 5 marines at worst. Okay, you only get 20 days until the bombardment when you reach that part of the story. You cannot come in and out of missions and rest every single time. You cannot stay in medical to recuperate for long periods of time. You do not have that luxury. So Hive Tranquilizer will overall save your ass on multiple occasions. What you don't need, well, I'd say you don't need the extraction device. If you got face hacked, you pretty much effed up, you should load. Soothing serum, it's not the end of the world. It's 50 more stress relief, you can just get some Naproliv. Stuff that you are not going to use in general should not be researched at all because they cost XENOTECH. You want to retain that XENOTECH to go into every deployment with as much active XENOTECH as possible. Okay, extremely important. Prioritize, guys. You don't have too much leeway on Nightmare. It's far worse than medium or hard. We already talked about the Sergeant's importance using his specific upgrades. I strongly recommend you research Battle Drone. People don't understand how important Battle Drone can be, but it is an added gun to your squad. Put it on passive state so it doesn't fire until you have a big encounter in your hands, and then put it on aggressive state so it can mow down enemies with your squad. It's very important to have around. The M56 ACT is something that people also hate. I am not the biggest fan, but if you find yourself getting too aggroed when it comes to your Marines directly, just place it, and if you have the SMG, the gunner will still be able to get work done. 5 turrets, the drone, and the M56 ACT is a lot of sides of incoming fire for the Xenos to handle. You will be able to create powerful kill zones if you deploy everything, stationary or not. So don't pass this up because it will take the smart gun out of the hands of the gunner. The gunner will still be able to do work as long as the SMG is equipped, because with the service pistol you will not be getting anything done, I assure you 100%. Stay on the easy deployment difficulty for as long as possible. Don't spend too much time recuperating. Recruit physicians and engineers to have a stream of healers and incoming materials with every passing day. Don't roam without paying attention to vents and spawn points. Trap those if you can, because there is a lot of movement around the maps on Nightmare, and make the team as strong as possible by using the best possible perks. If you roll really bad perks when you level up, you can't reuse the last save, the return to base autosave that you get, but you can use a save from a previous rest point during the mission. It's better to save scam a bit and create a powerful squad that will be able to handle the late game than go into the late game half-assed and have to restart the entire run all over again. Hope this helps, guys. I'm running Nightmare right now. A Remnant is just around the corner. I hope I will be able to finish it before that. Let me know what you think about my choices. Let me know if you have any additional ideas. Sub, like, hit the notification bell, and until next time, stay frosty and always strive for perfection. Cheers!